Kevin Mayer of France breaks Ashton Eaton's world record in the decathlon. Did it on Sunday, a mere, I don't know, maybe 12 hours after Kipchoge set his world record. I mean, best eaten moves up in the all-time Mayer power rankings ahead of John, which Lincoln did not think was possible. Was this a better performance than Kipchoge's?
Not again. I'm using my statistics comparing number 1 to number 2.
Look at statistics at play.
It's less than a 1% improvement from Eaton's 9.9045. All of a sudden I'm on the percentage improvement bandwagon. I didn't know that was going to be a thing this week.
It's the best way to compare apples to apples.
Yeah. So I mean, first of all, to break an Ashton Eaton world record, I think it in some ways is more significant just on name value than breaking a Dennis Kimetto world record.
For sure.
Obviously, with Kipchoge, it was the time itself, had nothing to do with Kimetto. But for him to do this and to do it at a meet, I know the Deca Nation is a big decathlon meet, but to do it outside of the Olympic Games or any championships overall, incredible that he was still in this good of shape this late in the season. I know he had a gaffe or an issue at the European Championship, so he had the fitness, but 4 PRs. The guy threw the javelin almost 72 meters. He had only thrown over 70 one time in his life, so he had just a dream javelin, excellent pole vault, and let's see, the 100 and the long jump too were some PRs. So it's not as impressive just because the decathlon in itself only has some limitations, I think, as being impressive to a wider group of people. But the fact that he beat Ashton Eaton and beat him by a considerable margin makes it pretty decently close to what Kipchoge did.
Yeah, you're talking about how it plays with the public. You have the marathon, which is one of the most accessible and identifiable events, as opposed to the decathlon, which is
maybe the least.
Yeah, how many people can even name all 10 events in the decathlon?
Yeah,
right?
I mean, how many people have done a marathon versus how many people have done a decathlon? It's a huge margin. But yeah, if Kipchoge had run 2:02:56, I think I'd be arguing Mayer's is more impressive, because bettering Dennis Kimetto, no disrespect to Dennis Kimetto, isn't as impressive as bettering Eaton, a record I thought was going to stand for decades to come. But he ran 2:01:39.
Yeah, when I first saw the reports coming out about it, I had to kind of do a double take. After the first day, he was certainly within shouting distance of that. But I mean, the fact that he came out and had such a strong second day, he actually equaled his
even splits,
daily
right?
total. Yeah, that I don't think that's ever been done. I don't know. We'd have to probably get John Mulkeen to dig into that a little bit more.
Come on, Statman John. No time off for you.
But I also. A lot of people do think that, with Ashton Eaton's record, he wasn't competing to the fullest of his ability in every single event. He was just competing to win. Wow. So it makes you wonder, if maybe he had applied himself more fully. Who knows what would have happened. But you can say the same also about Kevin. I mean, yeah, he set 4 PRs. The pole vault was an outdoor PR.
You're right.
But, he's a great hurdler. I mean, he can make up more ground there. Probably had a little bit left in that 15, so who knows? He could very well break it again. He'd have to have a pretty darn good day to do that, but he certainly has some room to run.
Yeah, right. And just a much better thrower than Ashton Eaton. I mean,
yes.
That's probably a big reason for it, because when you look at the 400 comparison, obviously it's just one event, but Ashton Eaton ran 3.42 seconds faster in his Beijing world record than Mayer did at the Deca Nation meet.
That's crazy.
But it just the big gaps there in the discus, the javelin, and the shot. I think that kind of tells the story there.
If you could have either Bolt or Eaton come back for 2020, who would you pick?
Well, I mean, Usain Bolt. There's no question about that.
Yeah, I'd have to say Bolt.
Yeah,
I'm going Eaton.
Yeah,
Eaton could still win.
Yeah, he could. And especially if you look at Bolt's final year competition.
Yeah, I'm good with Bolt.
Yeah,
he did it all.
Yeah. Do you think?
And also, if we're going to be real about it, I don't think that Bolt could come back and even be a shadow of his former self at this point.
Do you think either of those people coming back, or either one of them a non-zero chance? I mean, do you think that Eaton possibly would come back?
He seems very content with what he's doing now, but I mean, his age. And he's
just now 30.
Yeah, he's still young and obviously went out on top. That would be when he retired. I remember thinking, he might make a comeback. I mean, Worlds are in Eugene in 2021. That makes sense. But he does seem like a guy of many interests, and he also seems like he's perfectly content with what he's doing. I thought actually Bolt would come back, but that was before last season. I thought if he won, he would chill out in 18 and maybe 19, and then come back in 2020 for one more, just because why not? Like, you're still dominating. But after he lost and then had the injury, now he's a soccer player, so he doesn't need to worry about it. They're both busy.
So he is actually doing something athletic still, whereas I'm not really sure what Ashton Eden is doing with himself physically. He's just like
fire guns.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
He's shooting it, not a flamethrower, as Elon Musk would put it. But
he's doing a lot of sciencey things.
Yes.
I'm not smart enough to understand them, but that's what he's doing. But he's Ashton Eden. I mean, the guy could probably get in shape in 15 minutes.
Probably.
Plug him back in.